And welcome back to the show. You know, theater has done something powerful that few other art forms can do. It holds up a mirror to the world around us. Sometimes it makes us laugh. Sometimes it helps us escape for a while. Sometimes it asks us to think a little more deeply about the moment we're living in. And I'm so happy to have members of the Temple Civic Theatre here with us today to talk about their upcoming show, Cabaret. And Cabaret was just that kind of musical, don't you think? Kind of reflecting the times in Berlin. So, first of all, I want to introduce to you Natasha Tolleson, who's the director. And we have Erin Riddle, who, longtime friend, known her for quite a while from theater days. And also Megan Geraci. I'm so sorry, I can't read my writing. And Dustin Larson. So let's start off with Madam Director. So tell us about the show and why Cabaret.
Cabaret was on Broadway in the early 60s, later made into a movie in 1972. The show is set in Berlin in 1933 at the becoming of really the Nazi movement in Berlin. And it deals with the Kit Kat Club and Sally Bowles and different relationships within the show. And we chose it because we thought it was reflective of our time. It had a message that I think is still relevant to society today. It's entertaining.
Oh, it is.
And it's got wonderful dance, beautiful costumes. But the message is profound and I think speaks to us still.
Yeah. The roles are so fun, though, Erin. You get to play the MC.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I love taking roles away from men. So.
Isn't it a little gender bending?
It is a little
There's
bit,
no reason not to, though.
No, it's one of those
really
roles that can kind of go either way. It's very, the debauchery of Berlin at that time was such that not a lot of that really mattered. So man, woman, it's fine. We're just having fun. Yeah. So we're not.
Well, so Megan, you're the iconic Sally Bowles. Tell me a little bit about that role and why you're excited about playing her.
I'm excited to play Sally because I see a lot of myself in her. I was very much this rambunctious, kind of selfish, crazy little young girl running around in my 20s. That's basically her in a nutshell, but she does have a lot of character arcs in the show, but at the end you do really see her really falling in love with Cliff and kind of on that cusp of change in her life and wanting to, have her career and do her own thing. So I think there's a lot of different parts of Sally that a lot of people in the audience will be able to kind of connect with, but for the most part she's a very fun-loving, energetic character. Not always lovable though.
Well, Dustin, you get to play the love interest. So tell me a little bit about getting to play this role.
Well, I was very excited about the opportunity of playing one of the few stage by characters that exist out in the world, and so I thought that was a lot of fun. And the relationship that Cliff ultimately falls pretty head over heels with Sally, and it takes some time. He's a very reserved character that kind of has to get out of his shell a little bit, and Sally and the Kit Kat Club in Berlin in particular help him engage with that a little bit, and then we progress into other less fun elements.
Yeah. So this show is coming right up. Give us the dates.
We open Thursday night.
Okay.
The 19th.
But you run through the end of the month?
Yes, we run through the 29th.
All right, good. So tickets, they can find them how?
On our website. At TempleCivicTheatre.com.
All right. So, so if someone's never seen the show, I mean, obviously I've seen the movie several times. I was saying earlier, the character, I can't call her name, but she was the German girl, kind of aristocrat who had a cold. I said, I feel like I have Pleckema into tubes. So that's what I'm dealing with right now. But so if someone hasn't seen the show, how would you describe it to them?
Well, as I explained to the woman at the drive-thru of the Taco Bell last night when she asked me what was going on with my face, because I still had my makeup on.
Oh, okay.
I said, well, we're doing a musical at the Temple Civic Theater, and it's Cabaret. And she's like, what is that? It's somewhat difficult to explain to someone who has no context for that at all.
Right.
Because like which part do you lean into? Because it is a very fun, it's like you said, it's dance, it's beautiful costumes, it's flashy, it's very fun. And then there's a very serious message that hits you at some point, and it kind of hits you over the face with it. A lot of my friends who want to come see the show who have never seen it either, I just said, don't look anything up. Just come see it.
Yeah.
Just let it happen. Don't spoil it. Just let yourself experience that and feel what you feel.
So how different is the stage version to what we saw on the screen? I know often they take a lot of liberties.
Right.
It is very different. Not big. Yeah, there's a lot of storylines and certain characters that are not there at all. But it is similar in a lot of ways, but there are some storylines that are different from the movie.
This is the 1989 version.
Okay.
There's been several versions of Cabaret. It came back on Broadway in '89 with Alan Cumming. And it's still playing in New York. It's playing in London still.
Really?
Yes, it's gotten a lot of buzz. It was really a hot ticket. It was hard to get into.
Oh, it's a beloved show for sure.
It is a beloved show, and the more modern adaptation of it, and it's still set in 1933, but the more recent Broadway adaptation of it reflects more on the relationship and on the struggle that the characters have within themselves and within the political environment of Berlin in 1933.
Yeah. Now, the hope is the production becomes more than just a night at the theater. What kind of conversations do you hope people will have after they see the show?
I would hope that they would go home and they would think about how apathy can sink into you in terms of what you see and how you engage with your communities, and I would hope that they would look into themselves and think maybe there's a little more that I could do.
Yeah, yeah. Any other thoughts?
I mean, some people might be a little bit shocked, which is okay. And
You think?
We definitely want it to be a show where people leave thinking the theater, just like Dustin said. And I think people are just going to have varying reactions to the show. It's very fun. There's fun, carefree, light moments to the show, but there's also very serious and emotional, dark moments of the show. So it has a nice balance of both, where it really gets you to feel. I think we want the audience to really feel something leaving the show.
Yeah, you've already had conversations with people about it, so.
Yeah, for the ones that do know what it's about, yeah, for a lot of my friends, I'm surprised at how many people have never seen the movie or aren't familiar with the story. So it's going to be interesting to see how that affects somebody with no context going into it. Because even when you have some context, just to be confronted with some of the things that you see, it is jarring to see.
Well, the music is great, and the choreography, of course, in the film was outstanding. So how are you doing all
Our
that?
choreography is wonderful.
Good, good.
Our choreographer, Stefania, is fabulous.
Good.
And the costuming is fabulous, and it has all of the hallmarks of a great musical theater experience, but it does leave you thinking. And the show reflects more on the 1989 version. I think reflects more on the rise of the Nazis in Berlin and how the characters, how that affects their world, not just the relationships within their personal relationships, but their relationship with the world around them, and how you can't bury your head in the sand.
Right. Which, is sadly what happened. We saw during that period. Community theater is so wonderful, though. I know you've been involved for a long time. I guess many of you. I mean, when did you get involved with community theater?
I started directing at Temple Civic Theatre over 30 years ago.
Okay, well, there you go. Okay. And Erin, I know you've been here in Waco, but
Yeah, no, I did community theater back in the day when I was younger, when the children's theater programs were not quite as robust as they are now. They have all kind of fun musicals now. We had Gift of the Magi and Best Christmas Pageant Ever. But it's been in there for a really long time. I've done stuff in Killeen, Temple, Waco. I just love it. I love the community that it fosters, and being able to do a show like this where it is a fun, really fun, beautiful musical, but also there is a very serious message, and I just enjoy being part of that.
Yeah. For yourself, how long have you been doing community theater?
Well, I've been doing theater since I was in middle school, and I did like, I went to a theater company in my high school, and I went for my BFA in Florida, and then I stopped for a long time, and then I picked it back up recently, and I did Legally Blonde, the musical, which was super fun. Now this is my second one. And I've done one other community show. I did Aida a long time ago back in Tallahassee. So I've done a lot of theater, but community theater is very different. I really appreciate it just because you get to meet so many different people and just life experiences, talking with people. It's just really nice to like have that sense of community and get to be with all of these really cool people.
Yeah, it's so important, that sense of community, as you say, amongst the cast members for sure. I mean, they become family, don't they? Yeah, what about you?
I did my first show ever about a year ago. It was
Really?
Urinetown.
See,
Yeah,
I love that.
I
Isn't that
had
great?
never done anything. I was a college soccer player. I decided at the end of 2024, I was having a little rough patch, and I decided to go. It's actually a funny story. There were two shows going on at that time. It was Urinetown and Ain't Misbehaving, and I didn't know that Ain't Misbehaving was an all-black cast, so I told myself I'd go for either role, and I'm really glad I chose Urinetown, because I think that would have been a very awkward conversation had I gone to the Ain't Misbehaving audition.
That's hilarious. Oh, man. Well, this is so wonderful. I'm so excited that Cabaret is coming to Central Texas, to the Temple Civic Theatre. I have loved talking with the folks from there. Such enthusiasm and passion for theater, but for, putting a great show on for the community. And again, what are the dates of the shows?
The 19th through the 29th.
19th through the 20th, coming right up. And do you have matinees or?
We do. We have a Sunday matinee. We have 2 Sunday matinees.
Okay.
So the 29th is a Sunday matinee. And then the Sunday prior to that, that would be 19, 20, 21, 22, I think.
All right. Very good. Well, it's wonderful to have you all here. See you again, Erin, for sure. And thank you for coming and for the world of theater that you are bringing to Central Texas. So as I say, break a leg.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you.
Stay with us. There is more of the show ahead. We'll tell you that today's show is brought to you by Allen Samuels, Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Waco, your friends in the car business. Stay with us.
Like Allen Samuels always said, Waco has a lot to offer, and so do we at Allen Samuels Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat. Come by, let's be friends.
Earning an online certification is a quick and convenient way to gain industry-recognized credentials. Select your ACLS course. Print your ACLS certificate. You can print your certification wallet card. aclsnow.com.
Our patented handles were launched in 2018. We continue to push the boundaries of strength training. Join us in making your training more natural and effective. Visit Engels90.com to learn more and revolutionize your workout.
Cleanse your body of accumulated toxins and embark on your wellness journey at your own pace. At Global Healing, we provide premium supplements to help your body heal naturally. Start your healing journey today at globalhealing.com and organichemp.com.
Our patented handles were launched in 2018. We continue to push the boundaries of strength training. Join us in making your training more natural and effective. Visit Engels90.com to learn more and revolutionize your workout.
Cleanse your body of accumulated toxins and embark on your wellness journey at your own pace. At Global Healing, we provide premium supplements to help your body heal naturally. Start your healing journey today at globalhealing.com and organichemp.com.
Hello, Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the show. Today, our conversation is about really something universal that brings people together, and that would be food. And I'm delighted to have the AC Waco Marriott Hotel executive chef, Carlos Martinez, here with us. It's good to have you here.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's a long day, crazy day. We love to have some fun, so I really appreciate being on the show.
Oh, well, I'm happy to have a chance to sit down with you and hear about the wonderful AC Hotel and your journey to become an executive chef. I've had the privilege of being at several events now at AC Marriott Waco, and wonderful. But I have to say, the food has been fantastic. You know, and when you go to an event for 100, 200 people, you know, you give a lot of grace.
Yeah, always giving the grace. Yeah.
But oh, Carlos, the food has been delicious.
Well, that's probably one of the things that like stemmed from that. I went to a lot of conventions as a kid. I'm a bowler by first trade, so I did a lot of bowling tournaments and food. And then I would go to these conventions and like, thanks for the dry piece of chicken and
what, sock chicken, same old chicken,
that kind of, or you know, some Salisbury steak that doesn't look like microwavable. You know, just these. You know what I'm talking about when it comes to those. And when I didn't start my career till I was almost 25, so I started really late, got into it. And met my wife at the restaurant that I was at and got really good at it. And she was like, go to culinary school. So she's kind of the one that pushed me to go to culinary school with my chef that was at that restaurant as well. He was a big
So where did
influence.
you go?
I went to the Orlando Culinary Academy, which is back in the day was Le Cordon Bleu. Back then they were a very good school to go to. Became all about money, so most of them have shut down by now. But back around the early 2000s, they blew up all over the U.S. and there was a few in San Antonio, Austin. They just kind of showed up everywhere. So I went to that since it was local. I was going to go to the Johnson & Wales in Miami. We were going to drive down that way. But since that was local, it was open in a couple months, it worked out perfect.
Yeah.
But right at I finished my degree there with the JW Orlando was opening up at that same time. So it was perfect transition. I went from being culinary school, but while I was there, I found pastries. So I went from culinary to pastries, and then so I decided to go to the hotel and start in pastries. So I had to kind of demote myself, go back to an intern, and started making all the pastries for that hotel. 1,200 room hotel, everything is made from scratch. So anything but bagels and donuts, everything else bread related is made from scratch. So white bread, wheat bread, hamburger buns, hot dog buns. If I had 5,000 people banquet that night, I made 7,500 dinner rolls for that night. Obviously the team, we had about a team of about 100 cooks total.
Yeah,
a huge hotel. But that chef is what really drove, his name was Mark Beaupre. What he really drove and instilled was if these guys are having a steak dinner in a banquet, it better feel like it came out of our restaurant, like they just ordered it. So that was a huge task when you're doing like 5,000 to 10,000 people and every fillet has to be perfect and it has to feel like it came out of the restaurant. But again, he brought us a staff. We had enough staffing. We had equipment. We had everything we needed to do our jobs. And that's what made it great. He just said, do whatever you can to make the guest happy. I'll deal with all the politics. You do what you can to make our guests happy. And when you're a young cook, that kind of is like, ooh, I'm empowered to have fun and really create and bring these moments to people. And if you can get the cooks young at that age to be that passionate, it by far will go anywhere else. So that kind of stems why I cook the way I cook and why I teach the guys in my department how important it is, because you said it. I've been to lots of events, and it's just that one step above that makes it. And not just the service, because our service is also great. It's
right,
you
and
need
that's
that
important.
You need that last little bit of, oh man, I didn't think I could have a steak dinner in a banquet setting and it'd still be juicy,
it's
still
funny
be
though.
tender.
But you mentioned the bread. Often when you go to it's the bread you remember.
Yeah,
Isn't
that was
that funny?
when I was teaching my cooks back then at that restaurant. I was working for Melissa Kelly. She's a James Beard winner, so she had a restaurant in that hotel called Primo. So I had left to New Orleans after Katrina and became their assistant pastry chef there. But I always wanted to go back to Orlando because I wanted to work for Melissa Kelly. She's like what you would call farm to table. We don't like to talk about that in the culinary. We don't really agree with that term anymore.
Oh, really?
But she is a full functioning farm with a restaurant attached to it in Maine. She's now 20. She's about to reopen for Mother's Day, so it'll be 22 seasons she's been opening up.
And you're talking about
Melissa Kelly.
Melissa Kelly.
So I ran her restaurant with my best friend. He was the chef de cuisine, and I was his pastry chef. And for about 8 to 9 years, the last in Orlando, we ran that restaurant. But everything is from scratch. Everything's sustainable. I knew my pig farmers. I knew my chicken. I had chickens on property, actually. and I had about 10,000 square feet of garden that I can use for the restaurant.
Yeah.
Beehives, we brewed our own beer. Like I said, that hotel and that chef like really instilled us to just do whatever we can that's different, fun. You know, yes, make money, but he didn't even care about making the money. It was making that impact in the community.
And have an experience
And
for
having that
your
experience,
guests.
right?
Yeah.
And so I worked for her for so long just because I love her to death. And
Mhm.
if she called me right now, I go to Maine and work for her right now. Like that's just,
Really?
my wife will never move up to Maine, but yeah, that would be kind of where it's at. And
Yeah.
instills this in us. And she only came into that hotel because of Mark Beaupre. He said, hey, they went to the CIA together. I have
Mhm.
this gorgeous location for you. You can do whatever you want in this building and
Oh,
do
my.
you in this hotel. And so she did it.
Yeah.
And that's been going on since 2002 when the hotel opened up. She's still running strong. I think they'll get their Michelin star this year because now that Florida has a Michelin star, I'm hoping she'll get that there. She's well deserving. But she's one of the only females to win James Beard twice, much less anybody winning. She's the only person actually to ever win the James Beard twice.
Oh,
for
my
the same thing.
goodness.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
again.
And really those awards, the Michelin stars and all
Yeah.
that really carries a lot of impact,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
Yeah, Michelin star is huge. A little different in America than it is in Europe.
Right.
That one is a little bit more prestigious. America, well, we are getting there, and it's getting back. Like Austin, Texas just got it this year, so I'm hoping my friend is the executive chef at the Fairmont in Austin. And I'm
Mhm.
hoping he's going to get his Garrison is going to get his star this year. So they got their Michelin key, and I'm pretty sure he's going to get the star. But the chef in that restaurant is just he's phenomenal. He's doing some great things in Austin. So, and that's basically what I'm trying to do here in Waco. I'm trying
Right.
to bring this really good
bring
food
that
and
level.
And there's a lot of chefs. After this weekend, I just talked to a lot of chefs that really want to push Waco to another level.
Mhm. Good.
And that's exciting for me because
Oh,
we'll,
that's-
we'll start partnering. We'll start doing some collabs and start doing some fun stuff for the community.
It's exciting
Yeah.
for me as a restaurant
Yeah.
goer. So let's talk a little bit about AC Hotel. You've
Yep.
been now with this, and it's relatively new in Waco. Uh, Great place again to have a large gathering.
Yes.
It's proved itself to me to be a great venue for that. You've been with them just a little over a year.
Just over here.
And so where did you come from?
So
to
I
this-
still live in Georgetown, Texas.
Okay,
so
Georgetown.
just about an hour south. It was in that kind of like lull where I want to go. Do I want to go there? But my wife teaches at a school there, and my youngest is thriving right now. So I don't want to take him out of that school. He's
Right.
sophomore, killing it. I'm ready for him to. I want him to stay there and be very successful. And my wife teaches at the same school, so
Mhm.
it works out perfect. So I don't mind the ride, which is great. Put a little gospel in my ear, and an hour to work, and I'm good to go. Or
Yeah, it's
little
an hour
podcast
commute.
here and there, and
Yeah.
it gets my brain kind of like
Mhm.
set and ready to go to work, and then same thing gets my brain set and ready to come home and be with the kids and the wife.
Well, you mentioned
Yeah.
your youngest.
Yeah.
You say you have a daughter who's
yeah, I have a
starting.
daughter that's sophomore in college right now,
Uh-huh.
and then I have my oldest son is 22. He works right now for HEB, but he's going to get his computer engineering degree
Good.
right now, so he's also in college as well.
Good.
But he wanted to work, kind of make his own money, and then decide what he wanted. So he waited a little bit to
Good.
really decide what he wanted to do.
Hmm.
Super smart, so that's why he really couldn't decide. But yeah, doesn't really want to do tech, but that's kind of where he wants. Nobody wants to be a chef, which is kind of.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
not-
my daughter cooks really well, but that's
Mhm.
that's
Well,
about
we'll just let Dad cook for
yeah,
us.
they love to eat, so that's
I
always
know that's
good.
right. Well, so let's go back to your journey. So, was there a moment when you just realized, yes, this is the direction I want to go in? What had you been doing prior?
Yeah, I was I'm a Navy brat, so I've lived everywhere.
Yeah.
San Antonio is home for me.
Mhm.
My grandfather owned a construction business, and then my uncle took it over. I have 9 uncles, huge family. So every summer, every Christmas, every holiday, we spent in Texas. Well, my dad's out to sea anyway, so we'd come for vacation. We'd spend it here, and I would go with my grandfather and work on the site since I was like 10 years old. And I would work the construction site. As I got older and we moved to San Antonio, I started working for my uncle, 15 years old, remodeling homes and all over the place, having fun, getting paid good money as a kid, going to school and doing that. And so I really thought that that's what I want. I'm really good at math. I love doing that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
So I thought that was my career path. My dad ended up getting a job down in the valley of Texas, running the energy plant for McAllen University. So he ended up running the energy plant for that. So we moved down to the valley. We had some family down there. Me and my mom opened a little deli. She used to work for a New York style deli when we were up in New York. So she just, in that little town, there's nothing. 20 miles in either direction, there's nothing. So we were making our own ice cream. and we were doing deli. Still didn't want to do this. I just was good at it.
You
I
were
could
helping.
and I always cooked with my grandmother in the kitchen. Like, so we just did it, and I was good at the math, so I did all the money. I did all of that, all the spreadsheets. That all ended up being me while I was finishing high school, and it was great. Then my dad gets a job at Disney to run the energy plant at Disney.
That's how you got
That's how I got
to
to
Orlando.
Florida.
Yeah.
And I wasn't sure. I was 18, 19, didn't really know what I wanted to do with my life. I was a stupid teenage kid, you know, in a sense. And I probably could have stayed and ran that business because we were successful. And I had every high school. I had a high school, 2 elementary schools, and a middle school within walking distance. I knew the teacher's orders by voice. I can easily do so. You know, they loved me and my mom. It worked out well.
Yeah.
But again, I'm 18, so I was like, I don't really want to do that. So I moved to Florida. Still wanted to continue to bowl because that was my career path to be a professional bowler. Was very close to getting there at one point. I had a full ride to Wichita, Kansas, as they're the #1 bowling team. But I was stupid, dropped out of school, you know, did that stuff, lost my scholarship. So I was still trying to do it on my own.
Yeah.
Moved to Florida, worked at Disney because, you know, quick job, get a job at Disney, worked outdoor foods. It was okay, learned some basic stuff. Then started working Universal, Hard Rock Cafe. Then I slowly started looking at food in a little different angle. And as I did that, that's what kind of got me into, okay, then I ended up working at a restaurant, which my first one was called Race Rock. Back in the day, it was Caesar's Palace. Then it became Race Rock. It was like a big theme, racing theme in the middle of Orlando, right on International Drive, all tourists like crazy.
You can find anything in Orlando.
But everything was made from scratch. That's
Yeah.
one thing was good
Oh,
there.
so there you go.
I'm making, you know, 100 gallons of Alfredo because we're doing about, you know, 1,500 covers a night, like crazy busy.
Oh.
So think of like Hard Rock Cafe type food,
Mm-hmm.
but in its own kind of setting. But everything is, all my pizza dough is made from scratch, all that kind of. So I got into this restaurant already kind of making all of that stuff and learning how to be busy that way. And the chef just took me on. I worked with him as a busser, and I had left, and I met my wife there, and I went back to see if I can get a job, talked to the chef. I was like, I really want to get in the kitchen. I really like all you guys. And so he gave me an opportunity to jump in the kitchen. Didn't know what I was doing at all. Barely could hold a knife, you know, that kind of thing. And he just kind of took me under his wing, and a couple of the cooks that were there were really good. Davo and I called him Super D, Derek. Them two guys were just really passionate about just cooking. That old school, just let's have fun and let's cook, but they were willing to teach because they know if they taught me, they would have less to do.
Mm-hmm.
So you
Right.
know, it worked out well. And to the point where I'm like, okay, you know, I think we can go to culinary school. I learned every station. I was basically his sous chef. And about a year and a half later, it became very natural to me to just do it. So I took everything, wrote down notes. I have so many recipe cards, just constantly as much information as I can get. I absorbed as much as I could. And then he was like, I think you should go to culinary school. And so was my wife. And then we were about to get married. So he actually, to the point where he had a schedule that was my wedding schedule and the line schedule, because he wanted to make sure I could work enough but still be able to plan stuff. And then he did the same for school to make sure I had 2 to 3
That's
days
great.
off during culinary school, and I worked doubles on the weekend, so I still made my hours because I just had a baby during that time too. We got married, and oh, by the way, we're about to have a baby, 7 months later, you know. So, you know, it's great. You know, so I was so busy, and I culinary school and baby and still working, and first time in my life I've ever gotten a 4.0,
Oh,
perfect score in culinary school. And then
you're
again,
quite driven.
yeah, and then again, I found out, you know, pastry while I was there. 'Cause you have to take a couple
Right.
of basic pastry classes, and I was just a natural.
So that mentoring that you got was so important. Has that led you to want to do that for other?
I do that now.
Yeah.
Like, so there was a lot of things back then that and I talked to him because he's still a close friend. I'm like, man, you know, you never want to question the chef. You know, that's just the culture. You say yes, chef, and you
Yeah,
go
yes,
about
sir.
your-
Yes,
yeah,
chef.
you just go yes, chef, and you go about your business. But there were some
Uh-huh.
things I just wanted to know why.
Yeah.
Not because I'm questioning
Just
him. I just
because
want to
you're
know
curious,
why, right?
yeah.
Like, you know, and then I get to culinary school, and I'm like, oh, that's why.
That would be
Right.
why.
That's why he was telling me to do that. Right. So now I make it to the point when I am doing stuff like that, especially if I feel like that passion's there, I give those whys.
Yeah.
I give that
Explain.
little further instruction because I know if I take 10 minutes now, I'm going to save hundreds of hours later
Yeah.
in training. And then that really finds where the passion is through people.
Yeah.
But my interview is where I find the passion. That's all I care about. I don't care where you worked, how long you worked.
If you know how to hold a knife.
If you want, I can't teach attitude and
Yeah,
passion.
exactly.
So if you have that, I
Uh-huh.
can literally, or my team can teach you just about
Yeah.
anything.
Well,
if
it's exciting. Our public schools, University and Waco High have excellent culinary.
Yeah, I went to Midway last year.
And
Around
Midway
that time,
has
I
it, yeah.
went over there and did some like intro to culinary and did
Yeah.
a little class. I plan on doing
And of course,
that again this year.
TSCC is well known.
They've reached out to me, so I plan on doing
Yeah.
a few little, like they really want to know what we're looking for in the business to
Right,
make it easier
because they're trying to
teach.
place their
But then
students,
also
yeah.
go teach a little class, do a
Sure.
little instructional thing with
Yeah.
them. I'll be doing something at the STEAM Center in October.
Good. Yes, they have a teaching
Yep,
kitchen.
Yep, helping them out
Yeah.
there. Oh, that is a phenomenal place.
Isn't it wonderful?
We were there the other day, so we're definitely going to partner with them. Because the goal is when I interviewed for the job here, my boss Marissa, she was community hotel. That's
Right.
what we want to be. This is how we want to be in our community, and this is what we want to do. And she's very active in our community. You know her very well.
Well, making a great stab at it so far.
And that's kind of what I want. I want to,
Yeah.
bring light to the homeless in us and bring light to, what is actually going on and what we need. Bring some light. If I can bring that through culinary in these events, then that's what I'm going to do.
Well, and I understand there
Yeah.
are some new things coming up for
Mhm.
AC Hotel Waco, and I want to talk about that when we
Yep.
come back. But we're going to take a break
All
first.
right, sounds good.
So we'll be back with Chef Martinez right after these messages.
The reason that their service is outstanding because the people they have working, behind the desk and the folks working out in the garage, taking care of business. And they give you a date, they give you a time, and they're spot on. And they're professional, they take care of it, and they answer all your questions, and they're fun to work with.
Like Alan Samuels always said, Waco has a lot to offer, and so do we at Alan Samuels Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat. Come by, let's be friends.
Polo Neuro is a new kind of wearable that helps your body recover from stress, that helps you calm down and feel better. You sleep better, and you can get back to being yourself. Learn more at apolloneuro.com.
I had a panic moment running my hands through my hair, and that's when I found Keeps. Keeps gave me the results that I was really looking for.
I definitely felt a lot more confident once I saw my hair coming back.
Keeps has given me the control of my hair back.
Get your first month free at Keeps.com.
Designed to elevate the off-road experience, enabling adventurers to conquer any terrain. For 50 years, you've trusted us on your toughest recoveries, to your most breathtaking destinations, and in countless unforgettable memories.
At 4U Health, we believe wellness and lab testing should be accessible, inclusive, and yes, fun. With our tech-powered at-home lab test, you save time and money while feeling your best. 4U Health. Visit 4uhealth.com today.
For anyone that's in the car buying mode or looking for a car right now or a truck, I would definitely come by Alan Samuels, get to know the people here like I have, how well I'm taking care of the dealership and how well, service and any kind of warranty issues or those sort of things. Because of the way they take care of me, it's made me a Ram driver. I said I don't think they'd want to go anywhere else if they came here.
Like Alan Samuels always said, Waco has a lot to offer, and so do we at Alan Samuels Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat. Come by, let's be friends.
Earning an online certification is a quick and convenient way to gain industry-recognized credentials. Select your ACLS course. Print your ACLS certificate. You can print your certification wallet card. aclsnow.com.
Enjoy a quiet atmosphere with beautiful river views at the Brazos Landing, located in Waco along the Brazos River across from McLean Stadium. Enjoy homemade dishes like shrimp and grits, chicken piccata, braised short ribs, prime New York steaks, and more. Plus, enjoy a delicious dessert like creme brulee or key lime pie. Open for lunch and dinner Tuesday through Sunday. Brazos Landing in Waco, the only place where I-35 and the Brazos River meet.
And we're back with Chef Carlos
Thank you.
Martinez, who's executive chef for AC Hotel Waco. This is in the Marriott family of hotels. And I understand there's some soft launches coming up.
Yep.
Not lunches, but launches.
So right now we're so AC's. You got to go step back a little bit. AC's hotels are branded a certain way. They're for your business traveler. Very minimal amenities, very minimal, really good bar, really good drinks, stuff like that. But they know that most of the people that stay at AC's, they're coming in for a convention.
Mm-hmm.
They just want their suit and tie pressed, all that kind of stuff. They want to be able to have a nice drink.
Yeah, no, they're not bringing the family.
And then they go to the convention, then they do that. So they realize ours is a little bit unique. When they built the building, they wanted to do banquets. So we're one of the only AC hotels that can do conventions at this magnitude, at this scale. And then the other part is the restaurant. We want to let people know that we're not just there to service guests, that we are a full restaurant in there. So we're rebranding and redoing the restaurant. It's going to be called the AC Bar and Kitchen. By that, it's going to be able to have its own website. We'll be able to promote it a little bit differently than just the hotel. So that's the hardest part, because if you get on your phone and you look up bar or restaurant, we will not show up. You actually have to type in hotel. Then you can see that, oh, you do have a restaurant and a bar. Yeah. Obviously, most hotels have restaurants and bars. But to be able to get that traction, if somebody's just searching or if they're not local, they're just typing in bar. Oh, well, there's a nice little bar, good reviews, and it's going to be a way for us to promote a lot easier, be able to put a lot of these special things that were going on a lot easier to get that stuff out there. So what we're doing now is I've been training the guys, going over all this menu. It's about a 3-week process, about a month process. We got the menu development, that's all done. Now it's training and going over everything every day with everybody. And then next week I do some testing, some mock services, so that all the staff that are in the hotel has a chance to go see how service. So now we see how service runs and how the food is being acted. But then all the housekeepers and engineering, all those guys get to come down and have a free little practice lunch and sit down with a couple of their guys and have a nice little lunch, so that we get a chance to practice again. And then we're looking at March 16th being the relaunch and starting the whole new menu on that day.
Very good.
And then we're looking at a party in April. I don't know the exact date in April. It's around mid-April. We're looking at a big launch party where we're actually going to have like a nice party and kind of rebrand it and do a little rebranding party.
A rebranding party. Yeah. And so do you have certain dishes you're going to highlight?
Well, in the rebranding, I'm basically going to take all the dishes and do little bite-size, like hors d'oeuvre style, so everybody gets a chance to play around. There's the chef board on there, which is like an antipasto, cured meats, local cheeses. I make my own pickles and I make my own pickled melons. So those will go on there. So I'll probably do like a really big like spread on somewhere on a big table. So already kind of like a grazing table, but basically our little tiny chef's board in a giant, feed about 100-something people and make it. But yeah, I do all my own pickling as much as I can. And I think that's probably the key is the reason why I do a lot of this stuff. I tell Marissa I got the job because of my pickled melon that I did for my tasting. The reason why I started doing that is one of my old chef friends, he did it, and I thought it was weird. And then he's like, oh, I was tired of wasting all the fruit after we cut all these fruit for banquets, all these melons. After 2 days, we got to kind of get rid of it or make a smoothie or whatever. We're not utilizing. But if we pickle it, we get 2 more weeks out of it. And yeah.
So you mentioned melon. What else do you pickle?
So
maybe unusual.
I make my own bread and butter pickles. I do my pickled grapes for certain things.
Pickled grapes. I don't know that I've ever had that.
Yeah, right now on the menu for the burnt ends, I'll have a pickled slaw. So it's pickled carrots and onions, and we make this little slaw out of that. But you need this little real acidy pickly to go with all that fattiness of the burnt ends. So just really being able to preserve things that way I'm keeping costs for the guests low, but also keeping my costs way low. So by being able to do this stuff,
less waste.
It helps. I hate waste.
I know.
Yeah, absolutely can't stand it. So
right.
So yes, I'm not going to get that perfect cut that they need in a Michelin star, because I don't want to waste all the other stuff to get that perfect cut.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, AC hotels sort of have a European.
Yep, they have a European theme.
How does that influence what you're doing?
And that's also the thing. This is why we were able, since we are now going to be like a separate third-party kind of restaurant, we don't have to stick with that European theme.
I got you.
Right? So we realized that some of the European stuff is influential, but we got Segovia and Every right next to us.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to send them over there because they're doing it very well. So we wanted to kind of make it our own away from AC. So it's more of like a upscale, like really good bistro type. So really good bar food maybe a little bit more, but a little bit upscale, a little bit more high end. Really good fish tacos, and like if I'm gonna do them, they're gonna be very elegant. Burnt ends will be like different from normal burnt ends. These are like braised pork belly that I'm turning into pork ends, so a lot softer. Still got that beautiful flavor, but you're not having all that straight char from the smoker. So doing it kind of like that, just taking some of these things that we already do in Texas and in America in a sense, and just kind of putting a little elevated flair to them in a sense.
Now, I have not seen the space. Is it the kind of thing where you might have live music?
We are going to start. We tried a few times, hasn't, but I think as now with this again with this website and being able to promote, I think that'll all
that'll
start
be great.
happening. Oh yeah, if there's a need for it. Yes, I want live music as much as possible. Again, that's the community. Bringing our local community in with
There are a
us
lot
and-
of great local musicians, and they're always looking for places to play.
You know, we plan on doing some cool art dinners, being able to have local artists come in and paint a painting, and then me kind of envision what that painting is.
Really?
And making a dish on what I feel about that painting, and then doing like a nice wine dinner with about 30 guests. But then they all get a little easel with that painting from the local artist, or if it's a platter or somebody, pottery, and somebody made me a plate and made me 30 plates, and then I'm going to plate that dish on that. But it's a local artist that's doing that, and just bringing it again. We're all in the same, so we want to keep it all together as much as I can.
So innovative, really. So what does a typical day look like for you as an executive chef?
It's a little bit different now. It used to be, about 80% in the kitchen, 20% in the office. Now
Right.
It's close to like 70.
I mean, you got
in the
to
office.
get the food there,
Yeah, so
right?
now
You have to order it.
Now at this level, I rely on my cooks and my chefs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, of course, all of the really intense stuff I'm going to be there for and all that, and
Right.
coaching and counseling. But I really have to rely on my sous chefs to put the food out. I really have to walk away and let them. And right now, I have a phenomenal team. They're all ready to work. They're passionate. They're willing to be crazy.
That's got to be a good feeling.
Yeah. Last year, I had 6 of the competing football teams to Baylor. I was short 3 people, and we all pulled it off, and it was great. So this year, we'll be ready to go into it again. Hopefully, I tasked my sales lady to get all 7 competing teams, and I would go and cook her and her husband dinner at the house if she gets all 7 teams this year. So we're looking. I know we got 3 already. So we're looking forward to doing football again.
Yeah.
But the day in the life is, I walk, I talk to them. I'm a weird chef in a sense. Most of us stay in the office or in the kitchen, and we don't leave. Like we're introverts, and we sit back there and we do our job.
But not you.
I am different because of my chef. He forced us to do tastings in front of people. He forced us to tell guests that we've never met why we cooked the dish we did. And you're nervous.
And they want to know that.
Yeah, and this is a $2 million contract about to be signed.
Yeah.
And my dish could ruin that contract in a sense, because that's kind of how
Right.
That's kind of how the atmosphere is in there. It's in this huge office inside the banquet kitchen with this giant granite table, these huge, beautiful glasses of wine, and we're getting all these Fortune 500 companies coming in to do their events. And I have to, as a lonely cook, brand new cook, have to present this dish and hope I don't get nervous enough. But because of that, he opened all of us into having that confidence to talk about what we do, show our passion. But because of that, I can sell things easier, and I can get people to do what I need them to do. And they see that passion and they buy more, or, whatever it might be. But it's getting out of that comfort, your comfort zone, and be able to say, I can, outside of work, totally different. I am an introvert, and I sit, and you'd see me at a party, I'd probably be back in a corner. Like I don't do that. But when it comes to food and hospitality, really I'm super passionate about.
Yeah.
So easy to talk about. But like I said, because of him, I did that stuff. And then when I became a chef there, I stopped doing those, and I made my cooks do it, because now it's their turn to have that chance to prove themselves, and gives you that instant gratification. So you have a guest taste your food, you tell them why you did it, and you're instant feedback. So whether it's negative or positive, you're getting it instantly right there.
Sure.
And you're getting asked these questions you might never have been asked before. Yeah. And then so it makes you think. Now you start thinking about these questions. It's easier to answer them later on. You can answer them a lot. You can give more out of them, and it's pretty fun to do that stuff. So that's kind of my day-to-day. Is I talk to everybody in my department. I see them every day. I stop in housekeeping. I say hi to all those ladies, because they work their butts off and they need that love. So I make sure they know I'm here because I'm not just the chef. I'm a manager in the hotel, and the way a hotel family works, especially this size hotel, we all work together. Because if I need hands plating a 500 plated dinner, I only have 5 cooks. I'm gonna need some extra people, put some gloves on, help me plate. Then I'm calling.
Yeah, what is the most you've ever cooked for at an event?
Me personally, 10,000.
How many?
10,000, and this was in Orlando.
10,000.
But this is 140 cooks.
Oh my gosh.
This is
Where was
and
that
wasn't
in
even
Florida?
In Florida, yeah.
Oh my.
This was at the World Center Marriott, so they have the largest column-free ballroom. Boeing actually built it for them. So I was there right after they built it, so they had this huge Boeing party. And I helped. I wasn't working there. I just knew the executive chef. And when that happens, we all call all the chefs in Marriott. When we need help, we call them, and everybody flies out and helps for that one event. And then everybody leaves because you need leaders. They have plenty of cooks, but you need leaders. Okay, you handle this part of it.
Right.
You handle this. The easiest way is call a chef at another hotel. Be like, I need you, and we all task force and we go out and help.
Yeah.
So I got to see the whole country because I task forced a lot, and that helps out. But that's probably my busiest one. But that was my biggest one, but I wouldn't say it was the busiest. Usually the Marriott Masters, like GM conferences, those kind of thing, those get kind of crazy. And it's usually only like 300 to 500, but it's like cooking for 6,000-7,000 because every single meal is very intricate. If it's a coffee break, like we do a bee break, and I have whipped honey, and I have live bees and a shadow box on the thing, and we're doing little tea cakes with honey, and it's very, very everything has a purpose. So if it's just a coffee break, it's just more than a coffee break, kind of.
A lot of thought going into
it. And a lot of thought.
Albans.
Not only we get this good Marriott money helps you, and then it helps you buy product and bring your hotel. But basically, it's Marriott's way of showing off to other people how good we're doing at these hotels. So generally, you only do one. You're in a hotel, you're only going to do it once in your lifetime. I've done 7 GM's conferences. So they're fun. They're crazy. Like when I got the job in Austin, 2 weeks later, my chef says, "Oh, by the way, we got the Masters coming up in 3 weeks." Because that's what we call it, the Marriott Masters. I'm like, "Oh, okay, thanks." Haven't had a chance. I'm the pastry chef. Haven't had a chance to teach anybody. Talking about 4 o'clock in the morning, still making cheesecakes, stuff like that. But it's worth it, 32 hours later, still working. You seeing people, and even just seeing the cooks being like, "Oh my God, I can't believe we just pulled this off.
We did
and
this.
It's beautiful,
Yeah.
And guests just really, I can't believe you built a whole ice wall for your bar and your ice cream. I had a whole section that was just made out of ice. And it was to do ice cream, and we turned the whole ballroom into the night of the museum, and we had it themed out. So it was pretty crazy, but again, a lot of crazy hours, a lot of missed family hours. Probably the roughest part.
Yeah, I would think you do work very, very long hours. So when you're not in the Marriott kitchen, you're at home in your kitchen. What do you cook?
Everything.
Yeah. You have a favorite thing. A favorite meal for your family is what?
My daughter's favorite meal is pho. She likes to make pho, or she wants me to make pho all the time. And then my youngest, anything that's steak, no protein, nothing else, no veg, no nothing. Just give me a big old bloody steak, and I cook it, and he'll eat it. And then my oldest was very adventurous. He just wanted to try everything I could.
Yeah,
so
whatever.
I really don't have anything that I cook for favorite that we like. It's just what everybody's in the mood for.
Yeah.
My wife does most of the cooking now, just because of timing and hours and.
She's there to do.
And then she's a teacher too, so teaching her a lot of crock pot cooking, stuff like that, stuff she can put on, go to school, come back, that kind of stuff. She stepped up a lot. Her mom told her she was lucky she married a chef. She did not want to cook at all. Obviously learned out of necessity, and 3 kids later, so there's a lot of things she actually does better than me now. So it's kind of nice to see that transition between us.
Oh, that's exciting. So you've said the soft launches are kind of underway, and so it's exciting there. Any other big events coming up that you know of?
Well, this weekend, so it won't be on. This weekend is the Hunting and Fishing Expo. It's gonna be the first annual, so we're hosting it at the hotel. We're just doing concessions. It's not like normal thing. We're just gonna have concessions, open bar, dirty soda bar, something we're trying. But
I was learning about that the other night. What a dirty soda is. So it's basically
like an old school soda shopping.
A soft drink that you add some flavors to, huh?
Yeah, thinking about going to in the 40s and 50s and going to your old school soda shopping and pulling that and getting your syrups and making it. We're basically doing that, but with cans and bottles.
Isn't that funny how
what was
old?
Circle,
what was old is new again.
We'll
just call it
it's a good way
different.
to do it too, because Marriott started as a root beer stand.
Did it really?
Like that's how he got his start. So, go full circle. We do that. We have that coming up. Mother's Day brunch. I'm gonna do a huge brunch.
Oh, that's gonna be great. So I
our,
wanna-
our restaurant isn't big enough to like house like the way I want to.
Mhm.
So we're gonna turn the ballroom. We're gonna put pipe and drape. We're gonna make the ballroom like gorgeous, and we'll do seatings for
Oh,
Mother's
you know
Day.
what? That sounds like something I might want to do for
Yeah, so
Mother's
you
Day
saw the
this year.
ballroom the other day.
Yes,
So
it
right
was
in the
beautiful.
center, we're gonna put this big, giant, closed square that's gonna be like the buffet slash
Mhm.
like act. So
Right.
all the cooks are gonna be inside there as
Oh.
well, doing action stations. So
Oh,
it's
that's
gonna be
good.
pretty fun. And
That will be
I
fun.
like doing Mother's Day. I've done it, 20 something years now. You do these big Mother's Day, and they deserve it. So
Okay, well,
I
you've given me an idea.
yeah,
That
it
sounds like
is fun. Definitely, if you've never come to a hotel, I know people get worried, but a lot of times hotels do amazing brunches
Yeah.
for Mother's Day.
Yeah.
So give hotels a chance. We did really well last year, and I'm gonna put up some great food and have some fun. Really,
Yeah.
is what it is.
Well, I have to say, AC Hotel in Waco is wonderful. I mean, the food is awesome, and it's because of you, Chef Carlos Martinez.
It's not
well,
just
you
me,
and your team. You've got a great team.
though it is in reality, all the team that I have around
Yeah.
me. If they weren't doing what I do, I couldn't do what I do.
Yeah.
So, and the passion that they have towards
Yeah.
thing, and the not wanting to mess up, and really just wanting to be out there and have a good time. And it's hard to find people that want to do that. We all, after COVID, everybody wants that quick income. They don't want to work for it. Chefs were always different. We always knew the grind. Cooks always knew the grind. You were going to work hard. So most of us stuck with it, but there was a few that said, you know what, I can make more money and not have to work that hard.
Yeah.
But those are the unpassionate ones anyways. So
Right.
let them go.
So it's good to know where you're coming from because when you make the decision to go out to eat or spend that dollar in that way, you want to know that there's a lot of care and thought that has gone into the food.
Yeah, definitely.
You're going to enjoy.
A
so-
lot of care and thought that
Yeah.
goes into. Everybody. A lot of my day is checking quality and inspections and stuff like that, just to make sure. I know it's a time-consuming thing, but somebody has to put eyes on it at all times because you're in the whirlwind of craziness. It gets missed.
So the location again of AC Hotel Marriott, and there's great parking. The
Yep.
parking garage is available, so parking shouldn't be an issue.
Yep, we're right there on 600 Mary Street. We have a parking garage there. It's $15. A lot of these special events that we do and fun stuff, we offer free parking without admission just because we have the parking garage. With the normal is about a $15 parking, but it's nice. We're right next to the silos, so we'll also be doing launch. Like we'll do a 4th of July watch party this year again. Hopefully it doesn't rain. That's what happened last year, but
Yeah.
we have that skyline ballroom right there that has a nice overlooking Magnolia and the silos, and then the fireworks get launched off. It's going to be a beautiful,
Wonderful place.
So we'll do little concessions and just have
Yeah.
a place for people to relax and have
Yeah.
a drink and watch the show from a nice distance, and not that crazy downtown
Right.
with everybody else, and you have to deal with all the
Well,
craziness.
that's another
of
great
traffic.
idea.
Yeah.
You were
It-
just full of great ideas
Yeah,
for my
that-
calendar.
And that one had, we do, and we're gonna do family movie night again this year. So we have a big blow up screen that we'll put at the pool. And last year we did Moana. This year we're gonna do a different one. And we just have concessions again, pool party with the kids, open. Get in the summer. We do resort pass. So if you're not a hotel guest and you just want to enjoy a good pool for the day, we have a price on resort pass. So you can just basically pay a little bit to be able to use the facilities and be at the pool.
Oh,
and
what
go
a
to the
great idea
bar.
for a staycation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's, some way, because during the summer we have a few transient, but we don't have a lot of, we're busy, but it's weird. So it's
Little
good to
different.
get the transient guests to have fun. I talk to people like there's no real pools anymore for people to go to. Like it used to be,
Right.
you remember.
Yeah,
go
there's
out to the
splash pads now.
Splash pad,
Right.
So we have that set up. And then last year we did a glow party, like a neon glow pool party. That was really good. We're going to do another one of those. Just any way to just bring the community together. If we can do it for charity, we do it. If not, we just got to remember we're here and we want to have some fun. So
Yeah.
who wants to enjoy? I think New Year's Eve this year I'm going to go even crazier for New Year's Eve. This last year was great.
Yes.
I think it's going to be even better. So I plan on doing like some crazy, maybe a little sneak little speakeasy VIP section, kind of change Skyline Ballroom to something different. So you have like two things going on at the same time. We have a lot of vision on what
You
we
do.
want to do.
So much going on.
And just stay relevant, have fun in the community. Definitely want to get with the city and try to do a big food and wine festival. After this weekend, all the chefs are on board. All of them they want to show their talent off in a fun. The one we did this weekend is more of us plating because you don't really cook. But I want a full where we're gonna have grills and fryers and
Oh
smokers.
yeah,
I
actually
wanted,
doing
like
the,
actually cooking out there.
Yeah.
We did the Orlando Food and Wine Festival. I did it 12 years straight, and one of the best experiences I've had because it brings the local community, bring local cheesemakers in, bring your local winemaker in, bring all those guys in to this event. Maybe a couple local craftsmen, and just showing the community where we're at.
Yeah.
And that we're all banding together.
Well,
to have
Waco is a happening place.
Yeah,
I mean, there's so much going on, and AC Hotel right in the big middle of it. So thank you so much, Carlos,
Oh,
for
yeah.
being with us.
My pleasure.
Thank you. Stay with us. There is more of the show ahead.
If I had somebody that was looking for a car, I would definitely recommend Allen Samuels. The trust that I have, the care that they genuinely want to take care of you. They really ask for your feedback when you go to the support department to make sure they're taking care of you in every way possible. So I really appreciate that they listen to your feedback.
Like Allen Samuels always said, Waco has a lot to offer, and so do we at Allen Samuels Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat. Come by, let's be friends.
Apollo Neuro is a new kind of wearable that helps your body recover from stress, that helps you calm down and feel better. You sleep better, and you can get back to being yourself. Learn more at apolloneuro.com.
I had a panic moment running my hands through my hair, and that's when I found Keeps. Keeps gave me the results that I was really looking for.
I definitely felt a lot more confident once I saw my hair coming back.
Keeps has given me the control of my hair back.
Get your first month free at keeps.com.
It's not just a glove, it's a 44 Pro. Crafted with dedication, made for performance, and built to last. Get your custom glove today at 44pro.com and experience the 44 Pro difference. That's 44pro.com, 44 Pro.
This is a Rogue Media Network production.